Hello, hello, hello. A review, I suppose. Not anyone cares. Not anyone's watching. This is Vivian Stanshall's Dog Howl in Tune. This was out earlier in the year, and I've been sitting on this for a while, thinking about it. Yeah, Vivian Stanshall died a long, long time ago now. Cool. 95. And we have this again, according to the book written by his widow, who died last year. There were many tapes. There were many times that Stanshall went to the studio and recorded, and the tapes disappeared. Invariably disappeared. I mean, at one point he'd actually, take the tapes with him when he left. Again, I do recommend that book. But we have this. This was assembled. This is assembled by a fellow called Andy Frizzell. Works with the Wizards of Twiddly, and worked on Kevin Ayers' final album, The Unfair Ground. And he was given the job after these tapes were liberated. They were found under a sink, and under a kitchen sink, because there are stories, and alcohol is is used. Alcohol is involved in these stories of tapes being lost and found and whatnot, and associates the Stanshall having the tapes and then being liberated again, and we end up with this. This is supposedly his final album. Features many guests, including Jack Bruce, Ollie Owsell, Neil Innes, and Rodney Smater from the Bonzos themselves. And again, it's a bit of an oddity. Again, I'm a big fan of 1981's Teddy Boys Don't. It's one of my favourite albums. I really do like it, and I like the storytelling involved on that. This one's a bit more, again, I guess, is it autobiographical? Because there are elements from, he says, reaching for his prop. There are a number of songs from Stinkfoot. Stinkfoot was, as it says, an English comic opera written by Stanshall and his missus. And yeah, this was staged back in 1985 on the Thekla, or the Old Profanity showboat, which still is moored in Bristol. And some of the songs from that, I think it's 4 or 5 of the songs from that musical, appear on this record. And there are some other bits as well. There's a track that was written for Steve Winwood, because again, Stanshall wrote for Winwood. He had songs on Ark of a Diver, among other albums. Again, that's a strange pairing, isn't it? Steve Winwood and Vivian Stanshall. So we have this, and again, this was meticulously put together by Frizzell. And where bits were missing, bits were added. And yeah, I mean, again, it's a funny record, because it is posthumous. I'm always eye posthumous records with a little bit of, suspicion, because was this the artist's vision? Because other people are involved. I think Frizzell has tried his best, and I don't have a problem with the musical side of things. There is a production issue, and again, this is just me. This is me. This is me being niggly. Where the vocals, some of the vocals I feel like are like guide vocals, or haven't been bedded down properly. There's like a reverb on them that obviously couldn't be removed. I needed Peter Jackson's technology, and so Stanshall's vocals sound a little bit, removed from the mix. They're not bedded in, and that kind of got to me. That was kind of niggled me. It was like a bit like a loose tooth. It niggled me somewhat. and so I was like, oh God, is this working or not? You know, it really bothered me, and it shouldn't bother me, but it did bother me because again, I think Frizzell's done a really good job of the music, and I think, you know, the songs are, you know, hold together. They feel like songs. I don't feel like demos per se, but the vocal just felt out of step. You know, it felt like it came from a different time, from a different place. But I guess you work with what you've got. Again, this is not a slight on his production at all. This is just me making comment because, you know, I'm anal about these things, you know. But yeah, I mean, some of the songs are again reflective, a bit down, a bit sad. Some of them are up. Landing on My Feet, which is from Stinkfoot, which is, again, I think it's about the cat who's in that musical, which is a bit reggae, a bit calypso. I like that one a lot. Boy in Darkness is sad, and Goodbye Mother. They end both sides of the album. They're again a bit more reflective, a bit more miserable, and you know, was it rather Cut My Hands, which I knew that track from the documentary, which is from Stinkfoot, I believe, from the thing they put on BBC. I actually put that out on my channel. And the arrangement's slightly different. I prefer the live version again, just because I know it. It's that thing, you know. Opens with Dog Howling Tune, which again sounds very Bonzo-ish. Made of Stone. Again, all these songs are really strong stuff. They've all gone in. They're all catchy. You know, A Good Woman. You know, again, it's band Looking for Someone. You know, and Strength, which is again a very Bonzo-ish kind of song. Only Being Myself. They're always a really, you know, it is a Stanshall album. But again, I do prefer Teddy Boys Don't Knit because I don't know, it's got a wider variety of material on it, and the production's better. And it sounds a little bit more musical. And so yeah, I'm kind of conflicted about this because part of me is like really grateful for having it, and then part of me is kind of thinking, well, you know, is this, you know, it's like the same as we talk about the Beatles again. In fact, Stanshall and the Beatles, you know, Magical Mystery Tour with the Bonzos, and Paul McCartney as Apollo C. Vermouth producing, you know, Urban Spaceman. There's a Beatles connection, but it's like some of the Beatles fans were saying about the new Beatles song Now and Then. You know, well, you know, is this what John would have wanted? I'm here now with the Stanshall thing, but it's got the blessing of his son and daughter, so we have that. So I've just got a I've got a disconnect from the thing. So if you can park all that and get behind it, it's an interesting record. You know, it's like it's going through the tape box and pulling that up. It doesn't feel cohesive. You know, it doesn't feel like an album though. It feels like, you know, bits and bobs here and there. You know, I think it's because again the Stinkfoot, because I know some of the songs are from Stinkfoot. This is the problem when you're a connoisseur, as it were. You know where these songs are from, and so I would have preferred a Stinkfoot album, no songs in context. Here they're taken out of context and put on an album. Do you see what I mean? Because in Stinkfoot they're telling a story because it's a musical. It's like taking, you know, songs from a musical, removing them from their actual intended context and representing them in a completely different format. Oh God, I think about things too much. But it doesn't matter because no one's going to watch this video because it's about Vivian Stanshall. You know, should you pick it up? Yes, of course you should. You know, of course you should. You should pick it up because, you know, it's good that they've gone to the tapes, and it's good. Again, it is you know, it's a testament to Frizzell's work that we have this. It's good. It's good in that respect. That's the good part of it. I'm too analytical, and sometimes it's hard to turn that part of your brain off, isn't it? It's hard to you know, turn that off. So I've sat on this for a while, you know, but I do enjoy it. I mean, I do enjoy listening to it, and I think, you know, hearing those songs proper, the Stinkfoot songs proper, and the other tracks is, you know, for a fan, you know, it's a good thing. So yeah, I mean, they've done a good job of it. It's just I have conflicting feelings. We do some show and tell. I mean, there's a lovely pull-out which tells you about everything. It gives you a rundown. But again, I'm not a fan of this floppy. Couldn't you have a bit of stiff card or make it a booklet? You know, it's always this floppy kind of paper that can easily get folded or crumpled, you know. And again, the inner bag has the lyrics, so you can sing along if you so wish. So if you've got Stinkfoot, the book, the lyrics are in there too, and it tells you you can read it. It's the whole play, you know. You can you can see the context of it, and of course, it's just 12 inches of black thickness that you enjoy. Again, everyone here enjoys getting 12 inches of blackness in them. And I've got, you get the gist of it. You get the gist of it. Oh, it's ruined now because I've touched it. Completely ruined. So yeah, it was funny to hear this album come out all these years later. But according to his widow, his late widow, there should be more. They say there's something like 60 odd songs or song fragments out there. But again, in her book, she mentions numerous times where albums were completed and tapes lost or stolen. Who knows? Who knows what was going on? Again, Stanshall himself did live his life rather oddly and didn't always tell the truth. You know, like to you know, string people along somewhat. There's also a companion album. They also worked on what's known as Rawlinson's End. Again, if you're a fan of the Rawlinson saga, they've pulled that in. Again, maybe I'll do. I've got that as well. I'm not a big fan of Sir Henry at Rawlinson's End. I like the track that was originally on the Bonzos, you know, album back in the day. But I know a lot of people rave about Sir Henry. I mean, it's all right. It's all right, but I like the songs. I'm more the song kind of person. So yeah, they brought that out as well, which has been completed and compiled. So yeah, it was a good year. This was a good year if you're a Stanshall fan. So yeah, like I said, it's a good record. Go and buy it. You know, if you're a fan, if you're not aware of it, give it a listen. It's strange to hear a voice come back from the dead and dance around for you for your entertainment. And but like I said, I always have mixed feelings about posthumous releases. But this is supposedly as close to Stanshall's vision of his final record as they could get. So you have to trust them on that, yeah. So yeah, I've been talking about Vivian Stanshall's Dog Howling Tune, an album that's been many years in the making when it isn't under the sink. Again, kudos to Andy Frizzell who masterminded this, and thank you to Stanshall's children for allowing it. Go and check it out. Thank you for watching this review. There's only one more thing left to say. By now you should know what that is, and that is ta-ta.